Hello again. So this is with me with hello again. This is me with sign number 20 of 20 of my Mayan sign series. So today it's all about Mayan sign 20, sun, flower, sunflower, light, or the Mayan name Ahau. There's always so many names for each of these Mayan signs, but this is the 20th one in the cycle. So if after this one, it cycles back to 1 in the Mayan cycle of time. So the Mayan calendar, you are from ancient Mesoamerica. And that would be today's Mexico and Central America. So they're not as prevalent as they used to be, but that's where they used to be concentrated, and there was quite a few more than there are now. They're very well known for their excellent knowledge of astronomy and mathematics, most importantly, and their culture was pretty much destroyed by religious fanatics and invaders from Europe coming in. Some religious fanatics didn't like their culture and the Mayan spirituality, so they wanted to put their spirituality in. So they destroyed a lot of the Mayan spiritual culture, and of course invaders, they want to put their culture in. So but many people, many professionals have managed to piece together the facts from talking to indigenous people that are still around now. There are less Mayans around, but they are still around. Indigenous people that know their culture and know how it all works. So to get it straight from the horse's mouth is brilliant. Ancient manuscripts that still survive after it was all, they tried to destroy everything, and the inscriptions. And of course, people study the Mayan culture, archaeoastronomers, ethnoastronomers, and anthropologists all potentially study the Mayan culture, which is good because we don't want to let that amazing history to fall down the drain. That's part of the reason why I do these videos. So the Western astrology, and the difference between Mayan and Western astrology is that Western astrology looks at the astronomical cycles, the planetary alignments, and Mayan astrology interprets blocks of time in cycles. Okay, so the Mayan system, as well as your day sign, there's also a 260-day calendar known as the Tzolk'in. For example, I'm a day sign road, but my Tzolk'in sign, or I was born in the 13-day period of the Tzolk'in of the serpent. So I'm a road serpent. Okay, so the Tzolk'in at the bottom here, the 260-day calendar, known as the Tzolk'in, is a series of groupings of days. Now, each day sign has 13 days attributed to it. So crocodile, 13 days, and then the next sign, 13 days, and that goes along for the whole of the 260 days. And of course, if you were to times 13 by 20, you would get to 260. Already done, already checked, many years ago. So you've got the day sign, and then you've got the Tzolk'in sign, okay? So a bit more into the day sign, Trikana, and galactic tone, which are the three main elements of a reading. So your day sign is the whole year divided into series or cycles of 20 days. So when light, the final day sign day is done, it cycles straight back to number 1, the crocodile. So it's always a 20-day cycle as time goes forward. So each of the 20 days has their own sign that reveals information about them, their personality, their abilities, what they do well, what they're weak at, the personality, their spiritual destiny, where they came from and where they're going to. And it reminds you of your spiritual essence and the fact that you are on a spiritual mission of development in this lifetime. The Trikana sign is the slightly less important number in your chart than your day sign is. So in the 260-day astronomical calendar that I just commented on, there is 20 blocks of 13 days. So there's 13 days attributed to each day sign. And this is called the Trikana. And the Trikana sign gives us general and integral information about who we are, as well as our day sign. So the day sign is like the forefront. So it's 75% of you, and it's in the forefront of any picture or painting. The Trikana sign is the 25 that is left more effective. So it's like the background of a painting. So it's the day sign is most prevalent, and then of course you have the Trikana sign, which is just part of who you are. And then of course adding to that and adding more flavour is your galactic tone. For example, I'm a day sign road, I'm a Trikana sign serpent, and my galactic tone is 8. And your galactic tone reveals the relationship between you and the divine plan. Basically, it's an extra mission given to you that's to do with your spiritual evolution of your day sign. This is the energy you radiate to the people and society and everyone around you. So this is kind of adds to how people see you in this world. Okay, so it's not just about that day sign. When you're very young, you have a past sign, and that past sign has the most influence until about the age of 12, 13, and it's not your day sign. So your day sign doesn't really kick in until 12, 13 years old. Before that, you're in your past sign or your childhood sign. This is the sign you're developing from, so it's how you start, okay? And you'll be very connected to this, even as an adult functioning on your day sign. You will still really connect with your past sign because it's inside you, it's what you were, and there'll be elements of that still within you. And at around 40 years old, so you've got your day sign, 12 to 13, you leave your past sign and you go headlong into your day sign, and then at around 40 years old, you have some extra energy from your future sign. So your future sign is like your mission to develop towards the end of your lifetime. It's your route to your spiritual development that you need to understand and realize in your life. Okay, so the past and the future is very much about your spiritual evolution. The feminine and the masculine, however, is how you come across in the world to others, because who we really are, people see different sides of you, right? So it supports your day sign in the feminine, people that love you or people that are close to you, that's the side of you that they will see, people that love you. And then you've also got a masculine sign, which is your outgoing, active side that is more apparent to your boss and your colleagues than it will be to those at home. So you'll always behave differently depending on whether you're at home with people you love or out there in the world making something of your life. Okay, so it's important that you bring all these signs together and you realize and merge them to help you with your evolution, to make life that little bit easier, you know. So other elements of any reading, it's not really, these aren't covered in this video. This is just other elements or other flavors of a reading that you may have. So you may have a Lord of the Night, which is a sequence of 9 days symbolizing your deep unconscious, like the soul urge in numerology. Then, of course, there's solar years, so they're grouped into 54-year cycles. So each year in the cycle has its own special quality. So anyone born in that year will have that special quality. So it's quite big picture, it's quite diluted, reflected in your personality and character. And it's the same, or probably even more so, with the phase of Venus, because the year is split into 4 main whole periods. So a quarter of a year is attributed to this energy. So it's even more watered down, but still a flavour within you. It's your social values and it's your role in the society that you live in. Okay, so these are less strong, but they are there. Like you can taste the garlic in your food. You might taste the other herbs that are added as well. It's just, it shows a little bit in your nature, and it will certainly show in your chart. So the 4 directions, all of the 20 Mayan signs are in one of these 4 directions. So east, north, west, south, or north, south, east, west, however you want to say. So the light, or Ahau, is connected to feeling, connection, spirituality, being subjective, being emotional and soft and intuitive. That's very much the yellow group or the south group. So there are other signs in the yellow group or the south group, and they would be people that would be quite compatible to you, that you would get on with them well. But people in the north group or the white group, they would be people that would challenge you that little bit more, but they're great to be around for you because they help you evolve. They might challenge you, they might get on your wick, they might be completely different from you, but they're in your life to teach you something, and they're the other side of the coin. So it's good to look into people or be around people from the north or the white group to challenge your thinking a little bit more and give you the other side of the coin or the other perspective. Okay. So your Mayan name is Ahau, really, Ahau, Ahau. I'm not quite sure. I've never been quite sure of that one, so we'll just go past that. And the meaning is sun, or some people call it sunflower, light or Lord. I've seen this day side called all of these names, so you might see it as any of these names. The element for the Ahau sun, the sun, of course, is fire, the south, and your compatibility with other people in your yellow south group is going to be seed, star, road, and vulture, or owl. Vulture is often named an owl, and you might see all different names. Star is often a rabbit. When I learned Mayan astrology many years ago, star was rabbit. So when it came out as star, I was really confused, So some of them have different names, so you've got to be aware of that. Your abilities and leisure industries, again, your abilities and leisure interests as a light day sign, or Ahau, is you're very artistic. All things aesthetic and beautiful. You could be a successful artist, crafts person, an upcycler, a jewellery maker, a home designer, an interior designer, a jeweler. You might make your own jewellery, you might sell your own artisan products, you might make furniture. You're very creative like that. But you could also be quite the writer, very creative, good with your words, good creative writer, performer, a very eloquent communicator. You could be a good actor, dancer, and a poet, writer, and an expresser of your emotions. You'd be really good at that. But you like to express your emotions and your sensitivity through your art and through your aesthetics. You're a good person, a good role model. You could be a teacher, you could be an artist. You're good at doing the right thing and being responsible. You see the beauty in words, numbers, and ideas, and you might be someone that quite likes words and writing and reading and poems and even crosswords. I know lights that love a good crossword. Excellent organizer, able to rally around those like-minded people, bring people together. Hardworking though, and you have the ability to be a good leader. You can be committed to a cause, and because you like to look after vulnerable groups, you don't like to see people stamped on or walked on. You like people to be looked after. So you're quite the cause fighter, quite the crusader, motivated by your ideals, a bit perfectionistic at times. And you have a vision of what life should be. Life doesn't match that, and it can sometimes be quite upsetting for you, but you do have a vision of what you think life could be. You need to be around others. You like being around others, or you certainly think that you're better around other people. When you reconcile the things with these ideals and perfection of yours, when you start to reconcile your ideals a bit more and realise that the world is not meant to be a utopia, it's a learning place, it's a school. We have to experience all. And what better place to experience everything is in a world or a universe that is everything, both good and bad, hot and cold, evil and good. Whatever your idea of evil and good is, because everyone's idea of evil and good is different, right? So you need a bit of realism. You need a bit of, sometimes people hurt each other. How can you possibly learn to love someone if you've never known what it feels like to dislike or hate someone, Otherwise, it's all just the same thing to you. You need to experience both. Anyway, so you need to reconcile them ideas and ideals and realise that the universe is meant to be in balance. Otherwise, we wouldn't learn anything. And you need to combine realism and idealism. Okay, so doors will open for you. You'll be more relaxed, more at peace, and you'll be more successful when you have those ideals, but you don't use them as the benchmark for your happiness or your inner peace. Okay, so you're a dreamer of ideals that you stubbornly try to realize, like looking after other people, making the world a better place. Very, very idealistic. And you don't compromise them ideals easily. Oh no, mister. You're devoted to other people. You love your family, your relationships, your close friends. You get really deeply attached to people, always ready to give tenderness, care, love, and a source of inspiration and vitality and fun for other people. So people do love being around you, but you do have difficulties in close relationships, and because of your unrealistic expectations. you're hurt very badly if you're abandoned by a devotee. And whereas you love getting deep connections with other people and you love connecting with other people, you're easily hurt by other people. And actually, in a social situation, you're not all that confident. You tend to feel quite awkward in social situations quite a lot. But you have a bright and unique personality, easily noticed by others, a great sense of humour, but you're just emotional. You can be quite funny, positive and raw, but you can also be quite quick-tempered and irritable. And, people should stand out of your firing line if you are in one of them moods. Okay, because you're an emotional little being and you can be quite explosive with that. Negative sunlight, it's them unrealistic ideals that and ideals of how you think other people or how you think you should be, how your partner should be. He's not doing what I think he should. Obsession with future perfection, leading to these illusions and delusions of what may or may not happen. If this quest for idealism gets too strong, it can be like fanaticism, like the terrorists that are so fanatic that they're willing to kill people for their ideals, for what they think is the right way to go. And that's the sunlight at its very lowest. A fanatic that is willing to maybe even hurt others and at best cause an imbalance within themselves. Because you would rather die most of the time than accept anything that's less than perfect. And disappointments in your efforts when you don't achieve the ideals that you have set yourself. You can feel socially awkward at times, quite out of place, quite spaced out, sitting in the background, maybe dreaming about your ideals that haven't been reached. You avoid facing things that you don't want to face. A lot of us do that, but you most often. And you'll throw yourself into menial tasks and hard work to keep busy so that you don't think about it. But you're quite a flexible person, you're quite well-rounded, and you will always work your way through it, basically. So that is the sunlight day sign. What was that? That is the sun, the light, or sunflower day sign. Some people call it a flower. That's what made me get all gabbly. Some people call it the sunflower. So many names. So that concludes the biggest things of your day sign that you have from about 12, 13 years old. And it features the most strongly until you're about 40-ish. And then you have to look and start thinking, what was your past? What was your future? What is your masculine and your feminine? So your past sign is what it most influences you from childhood all the way up to 12, 13 years old. So it's how you start and it's how you are as a child. And then your future sign, which comes into a play at about 40 years old. And that's what you're developing towards. Then you have your feminine and your masculine side, which is very much about how you come across to others. So your feminine side, people will only see that side of you if you're close to them. So this is family, friends, best friends, people that you're really intimately close with will see this feminine side of you. The masculine side is going to come out more to your boss or to colleagues or to people you don't know so well. Because as you know, we behave differently depending who we are around and the strength of the bond or trust we have with that person. So when you're talking about people that are just in the world, they see you a certain way, and then the people that you trust more, that you're in deeper contact with, will see that more intimate, closed away side of you. Okay? So, masculine side first. So your masculine side that supports your sunlight, Ahau day sign is Jaguar or LX. Because I don't know how anyone could pronounce that other than Lux. So Jaguar or LX is your masculine side. So it's what you show to the people around you. So people see you, your colleagues, your boss, your neighbour up the street, the shopkeeper that sees you twice a week while you're getting your groceries. He will see you as quite, and all of them will see you as quite sensitive, quite private, quite shy. You won't be the one. When you're out in the real world, you might not be quite so sparkly. You might be a bit quieter. You might hide yourself away a bit, be a bit less trusting of those around you. You're more of a thinker. You know, your day sign is very creative, artisty, and your future is quite creative, artisty, and spiritual. However, people in the world sees you as more of a thinker, an intelligent investigator, very intelligent, very curious. You might be the strategist or the planner of your company or your job. But you will fight your corner. You're not a shrinking violet. You might be private, shy and sensitive, but you're not going to let anyone stamp on you, and you're not going to allow your opinions to be chucked in the bin. I'm telling you now. You'll fight to make your point. But sometimes you can forget your boundaries and get a little bit too deep in other people's lives, and meddle a little bit. So you need to learn when to step back. But this is people that, remember, this is your boss. These are people that know you. So you're probably less likely to go deep with these people anyway, because they are just people that only know the front that you show, or the bits of you that you want them to know. So you can get a bit entangled in other people's lives, but it won't be on a deep, it will be more of a drama, watching from afar, sort of unemotional, unconnected thing. It might be an argument with colleagues. You might not get on with your boss, and you might enjoy, a good old banter or debate with your colleagues or your boss, and you might not care so much what they think of you. You base your security, though, on your relationships with people that, like your colleagues and your boss, and you do base a bit too much security on those relationships. But people do see you, your boss will see you as quite deep in your spiritual insight, a possible healer. He's going to definitely see you as spiritual, and you might even show them your psychic and intuitive abilities. They might see that in you, or it's something that you're happy to express to your boss or your colleagues or people you don't know so well. And you can be quite a good consultant and advisor and a counsellor for those at work, or you might work in that field. Okay, so you could do that. So remember, this is the side that you show in your professional relationships, or people that don't know you so well. So they will see you as a very quiet, shy thinker. You're a pocket rocket. You don't let anyone walk on you, but you're a shy, quiet thinker that sometimes meddles, gets too involved. But at the heart of it, you're good intentioned and very spiritual, and you could be a counsellor, a healer, and a helper of others. So that's how the world sees you. How you're seen at home, again, very spiritual, big ideas, big questions, philosophy, occult sciences, astrology, maybe even numerology. You might love your numerology like me. You might even have psychic abilities and connection to the unseen. So when you're at home, or people that you love or like, they will see you as spiritual, intuitive. You might even do psychic readings to your family or in your spare time. Or do psychic intuitive stuff for the people that you trust the most, but maybe not so much for those that you don't know or trust so well. You're going to be more of a traveler. You're going to dream about, when you're at home, you dream a lot about like traveling to war-torn countries, or countries that are in famine, and helping them to bring their lives back, helping them to build pumps or to plant crops, or anything that helps them to build their lives is something that people in your family will see you as. And you will come across as that very caring person that really cares about what's going on to people overseas. You might travel for that, and you might travel through work. You might love to travel with your family, and that's most likely when this is your sensitive, intuitive sign, or your introverted sign, is that you're very much a traveller with your family. You like to get out and about with your family, but again, head of the family, good at leading, good at mediating family arguments. And your family might be involved in business in some way. You might be a little family of entrepreneurs, or you might work from home because there's business energy within your introverted side. So you might be quite the natural entrepreneur. You might already or wish to run a business from home and use your business and entrepreneurial skills for your own benefit, rather than being paid a salary to help everyone else. When you're confident, when you're at home, sensitive, you can lead the family well, associate with strong, powerful people. You're diplomatic, you're the mediator. So if there's any arguments between your friends or family, you're good at bringing peace to the situation. You've got a good sense of duty towards your family and those you love, and loyalty, and you can communicate with all types of people, and you just attract abundance in every way. You cooperate well with others. Remember, this is your feminine side. This is how your family see you. Cooperate well with others, believes in collective unifying goals, property, interested in your home, maybe even the news, world events. But at the end of the day, the people that know you really well, they see you as spiritual, very big picture, you might love to travel and, see different places, but you have a strong sense of duty and compassion, and you can communicate with everyone. Lots of people love you. So this is how your family see you. So this is how your best friend will see you. This is how people that love you will see you. But when you were a child, so we're going to from birth to 12 to 13 years. Okay. So when you were a child, you were very quiet, relaxed, generous, giving, easily hurt, definitely easily hurt, courteous, helpful, but not good with deep relationships. You don't really like going too deep with people or telling them too much about you. So when you were a child, you were best at relating to others just on a fun and play sort of situation. You wouldn't have been one to sort of like go deep with your friends at school. It's very much fun, scream, shout, and then go home. It's very on the surface. When you were a kid, you just liked to play and be generous and just not let it go much beyond that. So you might not have been the sort of person that liked sleepovers or bringing one person home for dinner, because you're more of a group-orientated surface relationship kind of person when you were a kid. Pleasant. So you had friends, other kids enjoyed your company, you helped others, you were quite self-sacrificing. So if a friend fell over in the playground or the breakground, or something happened to a friend that you were out with, you would have been the first person there to help. Very practical, good at art, good at building things, good with your hands, willing to muck in, quite ambitious. You wanted to get your work done at school, you want to pass exams or go to university and work hard. But you prefer peace in your, you're not one for drama when you were a kid. It was more about peace and love and chilling out. Because again, you are easily hurt and you prefer not to be in arguments that are likely going to hurt your feelings. So sensitive and quite emotionally fragile. So you're better in a peaceful situation when you were a kid. And drama wasn't a healthy thing for you to get involved in. It never is a healthy thing to get involved in, but especially for you with your sensitive nature, you prefer to be in a relaxed, more soft sort of environment that doesn't challenge you too much, pleasant, good relationships, gentle. Okay, that's the sort of environment you prefer because of your sensitivity. But you can hold on to a lot of hidden emotional anger and resentment, and it will come through and vent in your hard work. You might work to vent all the anger out of you if somebody upsets you. But you want peace at the end of the day. You don't like to rock the boat when you were a kid, so you wouldn't have got yourself in much trouble when you were a kid. You wanted to stay away from the drama and the arguments or the teacher shouting. You're more the one that's like, peace, man, everyone chill out. So you were very calm, quiet, easy to cope with, intelligent, conservative, rule following. The kind of child any parent would want, maybe. But you're developing towards the star or the rabbit or lama or lamat as the Mayan name. So as I said, it can be called star. Star and rabbit are the two top names for this. So this is your future destiny sign. It's like your new mission. It's given at around 40 years old for you as an Ahau. Understand it, accept, and use it for your evolution. So you're developing towards being less calm and chill and sitting there and going with the flow. You're here to be a bit more energetic now. So as you're getting older, you need to be a bit more physical, maybe do more physical exercise, move constantly, drawn to physical activity like exercise, dance, music, performance, entertainment, so much more energetic, more confident, but still into the mysteries and the occult and the spirituality, still very intelligent, very active mind, very playful, very humorous. It's almost like going back to a scatty childhood at times. So very much more energetic and like to move around more. You might develop more into exercise from 40 onwards, and it might not have been something that you were ever all that bothered about before. But you still like that good fight. You still don't let people walk on you in your future, arguing, debating and putting your side of it over. You are attracted, and you will be even more so in your later years, attracted to the business world and the art of the deal. So you might go into business for yourself at round about the age of 40 or beyond, selling your craft items or performing, or, you know, there's so many things. You're so multifaceted, you could do quite a lot. So you like to argue, you like a good fight, you're quite stubborn, you're not walked on. You love a good game, a good competition, and you like to win, you know. Attracted to the business world, as I've said, very fast, efficient, detail-orientated worker as you go forward into your future, but still suspicious of new people, a little bit socially awkward at times. But if somebody can get past that initial social awkwardness or this initial mistrust and shyness that you show, you will, as you trust them more, become a very, very loyal friend. Okay. And you will allow a little bit more depth, and you will look out for that person a little bit more. You're not one for deep relationships, and you do tend to try and keep things on the surface, but when you do start to trust someone, then they tend to say your friend for life, unless they completely do something really horrific to you. Because you're quite nervous, you're quite paranoid, you wonder, you mistrust people a little bit in the world around you. And sometimes this nerve can cause you to be either push people away and be egocentric, or to be self-destructive and use substances and alcohol or even food to help relax you. But that's not something that you really want to be developing towards. So you're going to be more physical as you get older, more drawn to physical activity, maybe more of a performer, more performance orientated, still interested in the spiritual, but very playful, very social, however, a little bit socially awkward at times, suspicious, especially when you first meet someone. So that's what you're developing towards in your evolution as a sunflower light Ahau, whichever name you want to use, day sign. So I hope you found this video really useful today. So smash that like button if you haven't already. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and press that bell icon, and then press all so that it lets you know of everything that I upload to keep you up to date. If you want to message me, ask me any questions or request a reading, you can email me at katie@soulexplorer, go to my website at soulexplorer.net, and I'm going to put links to all this and my social media in the description box below. So if you'd like a reading, you'd like to request a video, or just a general question, contact me on any of this social media. And if you'd like to learn about numerology, I have a course on Udemy, and that link to that course is also going to be in the description box below. As ever, guys, trust the soul within you. Only your own inner voice knows what's best for you.